G'day, I'm TC and I'm back this week to talk about my most hated tax of them all, payroll tax. Now, I can personally handle income tax, GST, capital gains tax, even the dreaded land tax. But the thing that makes my blood boil more than anything else is payroll tax. It is simply a tax for employing Australians. Now, it is particularly punitive for SMEs, which is obviously my focus. The threshold to be liable for payroll tax in New South Wales is $1.2 million. Now, while that in and of itself as a single figure seems like a lot, once you take on a few staff, you do tend to find that $1.2 million looms large fairly quickly. Now, what we need to do is we need to be encouraging businesses to employ Australians. We need to be encouraging businesses to be making strategic decisions that keeps jobs onshore. Where I feel that payroll tax is particularly unfair and particularly in favour of large organisations is that due to the fact that it's 5.45% of anything over that $1.2 million, for those larger organisations, that's a significant dollar figure. And therefore, a number of their strategic decisions in terms of operations and employment are being made with that in mind. Those large businesses are looking to set up offshore entities in and of themselves, and they take on their own employees in much lower paying countries. For small business, for SMEs, that's a much harder prospect to do. What we tend to find as well is SMEs are much more inclined to make a personal decision about taking on and employing Australians. While not all of our decisions are egalitarian, humanitarian decisions, it is far more likely that an SME is going to make decisions based on emotion, based on the right thing to do, rather than those large multinational corporations which are simply doing everything they can to hide behind the requirement to produce the greatest return to the shareholders. That's a cop-out that they use all the time. Now, my understanding was payroll tax was meant to be canned back when the GST came in. Seems that the state government is enjoying those revenues far too much. Look, I understand that perhaps payroll tax needs to stay in some format or another. What I would be advocating is that payroll tax threshold increases significantly from the $1.2 million, and I mean push it to $5 million, push it to $10 million. Really help small business to stay under that payroll tax threshold and encourage those SMEs to take on that extra staff member. Again, once you take into account all the leave entitlements, the workers' comp insurance that's going to be payable, plus payroll tax, all of a sudden, where all things being equal, we might have considered taking on a staff member. Perhaps those are the factors that mean that we shy away from doing things onshore and perhaps look to offshore. I'm very conscious that there are a number of things that are actually better done offshore, but we need to be encouraging business, and in particular small business, to take on, employ, engage with, support Australians, Australian employees and Australian families. I believe a significant increase in that threshold, that payroll tax threshold, is the thing that will make a significant difference to help SMEs. I'm TC, and that's my 2 cents. Now, before you jet, if you've got something out of that, like or subscribe. If there's anything about which you'd like my 2 cents, hit me up at this email address. Or if you'd like some business, accounting, or tax advisory, message me at this email address. Or find me at tcs2cents.com or sabtees.com.au. Have a great morning, afternoon, or evening. Cheers.